Thanks to the amazing folks over at Ameda City through the Predecessor Creators Guild, I've been given an opportunity to take a first look at Predecessor's upcoming patch, patch 1.4. This patch is absolutely massive and has some changes for every single hero in the game. It's also going to bring us our next Predecessor hero, Boris, who's going to be charging his way into Sanctuary. We got a lot to cover in this patch, so let's get to it.
Revenant is a much-loved marksman hero in Predecessor, played primarily in the duo lane. I've always appreciated his kind of style, this like kind of dark wanderer. It's kind of like a Stephen King-inspired like cowboy. Great voice actor, nice southern draw. He's an all-around appealing hero. He's got a good suite of changes coming to his kit in patch 1.4. We're going to go over those in detail now. The first change is a great one for him to his passive ability, Bounty Hunter. The adjustments to this ability are as follows. The base damage has been increased. The critical strike scaling has been increased. And they have flat out added a 20% attack speed scaling bonus that he didn't have in previous patches. So just a straight up win. Kind of for ease of explanation and the rest of his kit, we're going to skip ahead, or the rest of his kit, we're going to skip ahead to his secondary ability, Scar. Now, this is a line skill shot where he throws this cursed orb at an enemy, marking them and generating 4 stacks of that mark for the next 6 seconds. The adjustments to this ability specifically are that it no longer slows, but they have added where should Revenant decide to consume all stacks at one moment, you will now root the enemy target, which is a great way to close the gap, kind of secure those kills. Going backwards to his primary ability, Obliterate, this ability now targets and focuses with priority the enemies that have been marked with Scar. So whereas previously it just hit those that were around him, now these missiles will target the person who's been marked. They've added some range and they've added some physical power scaling. However, they have lowered the damage of consecutive missiles. The next change is to his alternate ability, Hellfire Rounds. They have made it to where the reload no longer scales with attack speed. But if he activates it, he will reload his hand cannon. The 4th shot now, in addition to always critical striking, grants him movement speed for 2 seconds when he damages someone with that 4th shot. Base missing health damage is up on this, so he'll be doing more damage to those as they get lower health. As an adjustment, though, to kind of keep it even, they have lowered the critical strike damage of this ability. The last change is to his ultimate, Reckoning. This is a little bit of a loss for him just because it makes it a little bit harder to execute, but towers are now present in his ult. It no longer roots enemies, it just slows them instead. And the cooldown has been increased. So I don't think it's necessarily a direct loss. I just think that the execution has to be considered a little bit more than previous patches, which is not a bad thing, especially for an ult that puts you and your targeted enemy into your own dual realm where nobody else can impact what's going on. Let me know what you guys think about the changes that have come to Revenant and whether or not you plan on picking him up in patch 1.4.